Tanae. How are you today?
I'm doing alright, I guess.
So, what does alright, I guess, mean?
So I've had a rough last couple of 4 days.
Okay.
Um, Work and everything has been pretty alright, but school has been like really hectic for me this week because I'm at like the end of one of my classes and I was in the process of getting everything together
Yeah.
to kind of submit all my final stuff, and I realized that I was like short um, some of my video project hours for the
Yeah.
class. So that was like, I almost had a panic attack on, what's today? Thursday? So Tuesday morning? No, Wednesday. Yeah, Wednesday.
Okay.
Cause like, if I don't complete this project or all of the stuff involved in the class, then I can't start my internship. And I just finalized like my start day of next Tuesday with my internship supervisor. We had like set up my schedule and everything. Like everything was set to go, and if I don't turn in everything, then I can't start. So like when I kind of realized my mistake on my log sheet, I like literally started hyperventilating because it was just I don't have any time to get in, make up for the 5 hours that I had put down that I didn't actually do. So like I was able to calm myself down.
So tell me a little bit about that. Have you had panic attacks before?
I think I've only ever really had one really, really bad one. That was my senior year of college. I was going into an exam and I found out that my uncle had died. And I'm not sure exactly why. I think I was like kind of like wondering, do I say screw this exam, get in the train or plane, whatever, go home? Do I take my exam, most likely fail the exam because I'm not concentrated? Like I didn't know what to do, and I kind of freaked out. That one was pretty bad. A random passerby had to like talk me through it, to be completely honest, because I just like
When you say talk you through it, what do you mean by that?
like I was literally sitting on the steps outside of my building, hyperventilating. And I had been on the phone with my mom. I dropped the phone, and I don't know if she was still on it or what exactly had happened, but I don't know if it was a teacher or whoever. But like somebody came over and was like, "Put your head between your knees, breathe," like stuff like that. Because I was like, it was pretty bad. Like I remember like completely and totally losing all capability of breathing. That was, yeah. I honestly don't know how long it lasted or how long it took for me to come out of it, but it was bad.
And what did you do after that?
I pulled my professor aside. I went inside and I pulled my professor aside and I asked him what my options were, and he was not very sympathetic and pretty much told me that that was the only day he had to proctor the exam, so I had to take it. So I just went in and I took my exam. And then after that, my mom had booked me a plane ticket and I went straight home. I went to my dorm, got my stuff, and I hopped in the taxi and went home.
So, have you had that anxiety or hyperventilation since then, or?
Yeah, like it's happened here and there. It's not something that happens frequently, but like when I get like really, really overwhelmed to the point of panicking, it kind of just escalates from there. It's like kind of a snowball effect. Once it gets started, it kind of takes off on its own, and depending on how steep that hill is, it gets to be pretty damn big. So like on yesterday when I started to like hyperventilate, it was just like a combination of things. Like I had just started to get sick. I had a lot of schoolwork that needed to be done. I had to go to work that day. I had a little bit of issues with my family at that time. It was just a combination of things, and then to have that thrown on top of it, and it was just like I was literally just at the end, and to find out like surprise, you're not. There was like the rug was ripped out from underneath me, and like I didn't know what to do, where to go, or how to handle it. So it just kind of escalated rather quickly. But like I was able to like mentally like just okay, like you need to fucking relax. You have no choice but to get this done, so how are you gonna do that? So like I like calmed myself down after a few minutes and like went through my log sheet to see exactly where I went wrong, exactly what videos I had, and then kind of just from there set like a plan of action, like okay, I go to work at 3 today, how many videos can I get done between like 9:30 a.m. when I realize this and the 2:40 when I have to get in my car and go to work. I contacted like a couple family members to like arrange some stuff, and then I also arranged some things for the following day because I was supposed to work 7 to 3. I arranged some things for the following day so that I can get like my hours in between yesterday and Friday before class. And then, like, at the end of my shift last night, like, I felt like such trash. I was like, I told my boss I'm not coming to work. Like, there's no way that I'm gonna be able to get up at 6 o'clock in the morning, get dressed, shower, all that, and go to work. I feel like trash, and I already have enough stuff on top of that. Like, I haven't called out in the 2 years I've worked here. I'm not coming in tomorrow. And she was totally fine with it. She was like, I honestly didn't think you were coming in today. So, yeah, yesterday was a total shit show.
So when you look back, so I mean, it sounds like you were able to sort of calm yourself down, which is a really good thing. So that, do you feel like you need to work on kind of any kind of techniques to get to that place sooner, or?
I think that used to be something that was absolutely necessary to me, but like, I've kind of gotten to a point where like, I'm not gonna let myself spiral like that. Like I've kind of convinced myself like that's a mind over matter thing. Like if I allow myself to spiral this moment, it's gonna happen. It's gonna be bad. But if I take control of it and work through my problem instead of letting my problem kind of consume me and overwhelm me, then it's easy to just get past it. Like I'm one of those people that I need a plan. Like before I came up with that plan, I kind of didn't know up from down, left from right. I didn't know which direction I was supposed to be going in. So I had to like kind of reorient myself and just be like, okay, so where are you going from here? I don't really think I need to work on that. I think I'm doing a pretty good job of that.
Okay.
Because I get overwhelmed often, but it's just a matter of figuring out what direction I'm going in next.
Okay. So you said you get overwhelmed often, but I mean, do you think this is sort of a unique situation that you've got a lot kind of going on?
Yeah, this was a completely unique situation just because it was like I was really under the impression that I had gotten all my work done. And then with the fact that like I was already feeling under pressure because it's like, okay, I have to upload this and I have to submit this. I was already under a certain level of pressure because of the other parts of that course I had to complete, that finding out that I had that on top of it was just, it was too much for me in that moment. Like I had literally just rolled out of bed and I was like getting ready to do some other aspect of that class, and to find out that like on top of having to complete all this other stuff, I now have this on top of it. It was too much in that moment, and I was just fuck. What am I doing from here?
Okay. But it sounds so. So the stresses of that class will be over soon, right?
Yeah, day after tomorrow. So
okay. And then, so I'm a little concerned because are you adding? Like, are you just creating like a new stressor with the internship and the pressure that you're putting on you about how many hours you have to complete in a certain amount of time, or?
I don't think so. So when I talked to Tracy, my supervisor, a week or two ago, we had tossed around the idea of me doing, so my schedule right now at my other job is Sundays I work 7 a.m. to 11 p.m.
Okay.
I love Sunday doubles. It's the easiest double of the week.
Okay.
So I told my boss, like, on top of my course load, I don't want to have the stresses of this job on top of it. So I would like to do my doubles on a day that's less hectic than like a Monday
Okay.
or a Friday or something like that. So we agreed that Sundays would be a good day because Sundays are pretty chill. The kids aren't really scheduled the way that they are during the week, or as hectic as Saturdays, which have like lots of passes and stuff like that. So after deciding on that, like, me and Tracy had talked about, like, okay, so do I want to work 7 to 3s at my job and then come in from like 3:15 until 7 to get in direct contact hours, and I would do that, which would basically take my 7 to 3 day and turn it into a 12-hour day of 7 to 7. Do that 2 days a week and then have 2 doubles on top of that. And when I like put that down into a calendar, it was very overwhelming to look at, and I can't do that. Like, if I wanted to throw in a 3 to 7 here and there, that's great. Like for specific clients that would need it or something like that, that is totally fine with me. But to schedule that into my day, like every week, twice a week on top of 2 7 to 7s is too much. So then I had talked to her and I was like, well, what if I did 2 7 to 7s and I didn't include any other days here? And this way I would have 4 days at my job, 2 days here. That when I like scheduled it out, and like when I even put in like blocks for like my one class that I'm taking this semester, career development, like time for me to do my work for that, it turns out that I have more time to myself that way than any other way that I'd considered doing my internship before.
Okay.
So I don't really think that having it done that way will take away the stress of this class and then add the stress of an internship on top of it. I think that it would be similar to when I was working a full-time job and a part-time job, to be honest, which I kind of liked because it's something that keeps me busy.
Okay. Well, I mean, you've been pretty busy.
Yeah, this was just the next level version of busy for me this past semester, because it was like I'm working full-time, I have a full course load, and I have all this recording and direct contact that I have to do on top of that. It was just, if it was just the coursework without the direct contact, it would have been fine, but that was like really tough to like schedule and manage, specifically because it was not just based on my schedule, it's based on other people's schedule, and that's not always something that's easy to manage. So I think I should be fine, honestly. Like my senior year of college, I had a part-time job that I worked 4 days a week. I had an internship that I did 3 days a week. I had 4 classes I was taking. I was doing field work.
So it sounds like you're feeling more comfortable about your internship and.
Yeah, like we have a plan of action now, so
Okay.
it's like it's set in stone. Like you're doing Tuesdays and Wednesdays.
Okay.
It's not up in the air anymore. We're trying to slam it in for this upcoming week.
Okay.
And then she also told me that she's like come up with like people for me to shadow and things for me to do while she's in her sessions on Tuesday.
Okay.
So I'm not really stressing that so much anymore.
Okay.
Because it sounds like it's gonna be like not a day where I'm sitting there twiddling my thumbs waiting to be directed somewhere, but like there's gonna be things for me to actually do, like for me to learn and get accustomed to. And I think that like I do best when I'm kept busy. Like
Okay.
if I'm sitting there staring at people, it's just awkward.
Alexa, turn off the timer.